Michigan, Illinois, coming up next, a great story about a great young man who almost came back from nowhere. Stay with us. 47-0, and I think maybe it's time we do more than just give the defense a pat on the back, because maybe they deserve a game ball for the way they handled Jim Everett.
Well, they put a lot of heat on him early, and there's no question that this defense continues to amaze everybody. This guy, you know, was leading the nation in passing at 390-some yards per game. There's
no way you could have expected a shutout and to hold him under 100 yards total passing.
No, Jim, there's no way. I got to go along with that. We expected a very, very close game. As a matter of fact, I told our offensive team that maybe it'll take us 25 points to win this game. And I was serious. But once I saw what was happening out there early, they were having great difficulty pass protecting for that quarterback. And once we saw that, why, we knew we would be in okay.
The other thing, though, I think that the defense did was it took away the deep pass. He really couldn't go deep against your defense.
No, there was not much he could do going up front, on top. But see, they had thrown to the backs a lot. The tailback had caught 75 passes, the fullback 37, and had gotten a lot of yardage after the catch. That's where we did a pretty good job. We stopped them after the catch. Here in the first drive, he drops back and screens and gets it off as a good football play, a new play that we saw for the first time, and that hurt us in the first drive. After that, he threw this ball. It was tipped by Mike Mowry and a great one-handed catch by Brad Cochran for an interception, and that's the important thing. People were around the ball and tipping the ball and doing things that were necessary, but our offense wasn't moving real well, and we got stopped. Monty punts, and they fumbled a punt, and we get it. That's a big play early.
That was a big play because your offense was really stuttering early, and then this drive is what put it in.
This drive put it in. Jim rolls out here, finds Eric Caddis open at the 10, and he gets down inside the 5-yard line.
Eric Caddis is becoming an awfully good tight end.
He's the best tight end in our league, one of the best tight ends we've ever had at Michigan. Here's a great layout catch for a touchdown. Jim did a great job throwing the ball, and Eric did a great job of catching it.
And the defense continued to be strong all day long.
Well, they continued to put pressure. Here they keep going after him and after him. Those two defensive tackles are not great big guys, but they are really good in pass rush. And so they did a great job. Here we block a kick, partially block a kick, and we get great field position on this one. David Arnold, a freshman, blocked that kick coming off the right side there. This is 2nd down 3. We go back to pass, and the blitz here came, and we threw the post cut for a touchdown into John Colasar, a freshman flanker.
You unleashed John Colasar on Purdue.
We had a flanker out there, wasn't catching the ball very often. We thought we ought to throw it to him once in a while. Here Jim fakes and comes over the top, this time to Paul Jokic for a big gain. In almost all of our drives in the first half, there was a big play. They either got a touchdown or set up the score. Here's the power sweep. Jamie breaks outside and gets good yardage down to the 10-yard line.
Did you know that the big play was going to be important against Purdue?
Well, we thought if they'd come up tight on us to stop the run that it would. Here's a 3rd and 7 play. Great throw by Jim. A great catch by Bob Perriman that gave us a first down. And then Gerald White bangs in for the touchdown, and we go ahead 14-0.
And you had a reworked offensive line, so you had to be a little pleased about things up there.
Well, we moved Clay Miller to guard and played Jerry Quona to strong tackle, and that gave us an awfully big offensive line. Here's this Carter kid that has caught 75 passes. This is why he's got so much yardage. He's a tremendous runner with the ball, and that was really the longest pass that he got off us during the day.
A sack by Gerald Akers and Jeff Akers.
Jeff Akers came off the corner and got a sack. Somebody makes a big play almost in every drive. 3rd and 6, just before the half, just a few seconds left. They left Colasar unguarded and went deep for the touchdown. And, of course, that made the score 28-0 at halftime.
At 28-0, you probably, knowing you, were not feeling comfortable because you knew what Everett could do, did you?
Well, I brought out that I brought out the fact Then in the Ohio State game, the second and third quarters, he threw for nearly 400 yards. And so, knowing that, you get a little nervous.
You probably made it very clear to the team.
That's
also.
right.
Yes,
That's
you
right.
did.
We did that. And we also told them that they led 24-0 down there, and we darn near beat them.
Okay, we'll be back and take a look at the second half highlights, which includes 19 more unanswered points from the Wolverines. Stay with us.
We went hurry, and they weren't set, and I just ran a little fade cut, and they caught him, and Jim just laid it up there, and I just went in and scored. This week just exemplified how much we've united this week, and we set a standard for ourselves to do much better in the upcoming games. This is it, you know, this is another season.
They were just getting through the gaps, and I think that's what Everett had a hard time throwing. And when he did throw, he was off balance, and, you know, just balls were being dropped, and, you know, so all that stuff adds up, you know. And, you know, we had good coverage, I thought, because they didn't hit any deep routes. They've been throwing really deep routes, and they didn't hit any today. They were trying to dump it off so when they did complete them, it wasn't, you know, for very much.
Andy Moeller, the son of defensive coordinator Gary Moeller, boy, they got to be proud of each other the way that defense is played, huh?
Well, you know, the one thing about the defense that makes them so tough to move on is they make adjustments very well. They're smart. And that helps a lot because if something hurts them, they can make the adjustments and get it shut down.
You mentioned at halftime, you said, hey, these guys can come back, and you made that point clear, but I bet you felt a lot better when that first drive of the second half started, because it was a power drive that really put the game away.
Well, here, Jim, they were twisting a lot on defense and gave us a lot of stuff that we hadn't seen. And we made the adjustments, and we wanted to go out second half, see if we could move the football on the ground. And that's what we did.
Well, there wasn't any question about that you did, because this was a 13-play drive with only one pass.
I think there were two. There might have, maybe there was only one, but there weren't very many. Let's put it that way. This Gerald White on a handoff up the middle gets good yardage. And we just blocked them and stayed after them. This may be the pass you're talking about. We needed this one for a first down. We didn't quite get it, but it gave us a yard short of a first down, an opportunity to go for it, and we got it. This is Thomas Wilshire in there running now on the power sweep. Tom did a real good job in this ball game. Had to leave a little early because of a sprained ankle, but I don't think it's too serious. Down to the goal line, they give it to Wilshire, and he bangs in for the touchdown. And, that drive made it 35-0 . And I felt after that drive that we were pretty much in the driver's seat.
You used a lot of time, then
right.
You get a gift.
We get a gift here. The punter bobbled the snap and ended up with a safety to make it 37. Then they had to kick to us. We got a decent return, field position again. And that's the way it went. Here's the fourth quarter on a 3rd and 12. We've got Chris Zerbrug in at quarterback, and he threw the outcut to Eric Campbell for the first down.
Talk about a nice pass and catch. Here's one.
Here's a great route by Pinky Higgins, and made a great catch for a first down. Pinky's not going to like the fact that I used his nickname here. But we did get stopped here, and Mike Gillette kicked the field goal, and we went ahead 40-0.
And now again, the defense just won't quit, even at this point.
No, they're playing. I think most of the second guys are in here now, and they're doing a pretty good job themselves.
It's almost as if that pride of that no touchdowns and the shutout really filters right through the whole group.
Well, the one thing that helped too is they never had field position on us. You know, they never got into 4-down territory where they could freewheel. And that helped. Here's Greg Randall with the second interception of the day for us. And so we're back in it. Phil Webb finds a crease up in here and got into the secondary. They might have underestimated his speed because he's got real good speed. I think that Phil Webb probably holds the national record for the number of carries and touchdowns scored, because I think that's his 3rd touchdown, and I think he's only carried the ball about 10 times.
Well, he had nearly 100 yards rushing on Saturday against Purdue in less than 10 carries. Right. And you win at 47-0. I know you're delighted with the victory, but I also know you, and I know that you say, well, we got to get some work done. There's some more things we got to do. Where are they now?
Well, I think we've got to do a little bit better job in our offensive line blocking. It took us a little while to make the adjustments to run against that defense. And we have the threat of the option attack, the best option attack in our league. and the most gifted option quarterback that we played in a long time going up to Minnesota. So there's a lot to be worried about, Jim.
So you're not, the defense is wonderful, and you're pleased with what happened against Purdue, but now you're against the running.
I want to see if this defense can line up there against a great option attack and do the same thing. Now, if they do that, then we're going to say we're in a pear tree.
All right. Speaking about defense, stay with us, because we have a Michigan replay feature where we salute what the '85 Michigan defense has done.
Night training. It never stops for Mr. Goodwrench. Cars change. He changed.
The story of the 1985 Michigan defense can be summed up in a word: stingy. They may give up some yardage, but they give up fewer points than anyone else in the country. How do they do it? Well, under defensive coordinator Gary Moeller, defense is a mind game. And sooner or later, they're going to get you.
It's a great feeling once you're out there. You know, we're all, jacked up, and everybody says you have to believe that they're not going to score. And, I think deep down, every individual believes that they're not going to score.
You visualize them not crossing the goal line, and you paint a picture in your mind of the stadium and the goal line and being down there inside the 10 and what you have to do. And once you get there and it happens, your mind's already been there, so you know how to react.
Your mind, if you visualize correctly, can't tell whether it actually happened or didn't happen, so that you can improve yourself somewhat or be prepared for a certain situation that comes up just through visualization.
It's not your body that gets tired, it's your mind. And if you keep your mind strong, you'll never get tired. And so you can keep the pressure on. And if you never get tired, you can be sharp and precise, and you can never give up a touchdown.
I think back to the old Michigan-Ohio State games, the physical, tough games, and, you just come here expect to be physical and tough.
I don't know if it really goes through our minds, to intimidate, but we want to get to the ball and get, all 11 people to the ball. That's just part of the way we play and the way the coaches want us to play. And, if that's what happens, if they get intimidated by that, well, that's fine. We go out there expecting to win. I think that's our #1 goal.
I think it makes everyone play a lot better. Just being able to get enthusiastic about somebody else's play can get your adrenaline flowing just as much as that person's.
I get excited when I see, especially like Garland Rivers, when he gets a hit. It gets me excited. I can do the same thing. I'm just waiting for my opportunity.
He's got my back, and I got his. And if he's not there, I'll be there. Because, he's like my brother.
And that's the way they play defense at Michigan. And I guess that's the way to do it, because it's certainly been successful in '85.
Well, it sure has. There's a great esprit de corps there, and they play extremely hard. And, there's one thing about football, when you play a team game like that, and everybody enjoys one another. And I revel in your success, and you're happy when I do something well. That's the way it should be played.
And you got to really be happy with the way Gary Moeller has handled that, because coming back after last year where the defense had some problems,
right,
he has just put it together, and these kids are playing great football.
Well, these are much the same players that played a year ago. There are a few new guys in there, but basically they're the same guys. it's you know, it's just everything on the team has been positive, whether it's offense, defense, kicking. Now we're putting a great deal of emphasis on the kicking game. It's starting to come our way now, and you know, that's all important. But I told you before, Jim, it's a fun team to coach because as you can see how those youngsters articulate about the defense, it's just fun to be out there.
And it's fun to have an opportunity to give those guys some credit. The defense, of course, and the entire 1985 Michigan team. You'll have your chance this year at the Michigan Football Bust, and it will be held at Cobo Hall on Monday, December 2nd.